So I actually ended up getting that medical center from the other day whenever I was driving around and showing you guys me out doing commercial estimates. And I've been talking about us trying to secure more commercial work on the books. And somebody asked, like, hey, how do you actually go about like finding commercial work? Like, do they contact me? Do I contact them? Like, what does that look like? I thought it was a really good question, because like if you're looking at prioritizing commercial work, like, where do you start? Where do you begin? In this video, I'm going to kind of tell you my thought process for securing commercial work, what I do, and what's been working for me this year. Okay, quick little refresher on why we are even approaching commercial work and prioritizing it. It's because every year, I'd build up this big pile of cash all throughout the year, and then in the winter, I would have to dip into it, and we'd start the spring like with half of what I'd built up. And man, honestly, like, it kind of sucks. Like, it got old, I'm like, I've been working so hard to build this money up, and yeah, it was nice taking a break and everything, but I was like, what if we secure this work that's year round, and now I don't have to dip down to my cash, so everything that I pile up during the year, I can keep, and I start the spring, so now next year, we're up here. So it seems very, very intuitive, and now that I think back on it, it's like, God, what a dumb thing to do, but like, you live and learn, and it is true. The margins are better in residential lawn care, but I'm just at a point right now where I really, really am prioritizing year-round work. So how do I go about securing year-round work? Well, there are a few things I do. The first thing is whenever I actually am reached out to myself, whether it be a business in the area, a church, or something, well, if somebody reaches out to me and they want a commercial quote, I go into a new level of customer service and hand-holding. Again, the residential lawns, man, we spit them out. They come into our website. I can spit it out and I send them everything. But I'm not following up with like a personal phone call and really holding people's hands through it. It's almost like the residential side is automated. Commercial is different. To me, commercial is much more about networking, communication, relationships. It's just kind of a different animal. So whenever I receive a request for an estimate, it's all of a sudden like a different me kind of comes out to secure this type of work. Man, if you're enjoying this, you better give me a thumbs up. And what I'm wanting to do is I am wanting to listen. I want to listen to what the decision makers, like, why are they bidding this out? Like, what is the problem? Is it because they have to get 3 new bids every single year to make sure that they're getting the best price? Like, are they tire kickers? Is there something going on at the property with their current lawn care provider? Or have they never had a dedicated lawn care service and they're just like kind of feeling out and testing the waters? So I'm listening. I want to contact and I want to be in direct communication with the decision maker, and I want that person to tell me what it is that they're looking for and how can I help them make sure, one, that we're going to be a good fit. So that's the first thing I would say, is that when I'm contacted, I go into an exceptionally high level of communication and listening, just above and beyond even what I would normally do. Number 2, I am pretty connected to our community. I've grown up here in this area. I've formed a lot of relationships, and that gives me an advantage in having those relationships. So how does this apply to you? Look, build relationships in your area. Like, go to church. Join your chamber of commerce. Like, if you start networking and become plugged in, these opportunities, they just present themselves, man. I mean, they really do. But if you're like a hermit and like nobody knows you in your community, like, dude, yeah, the local business owners in your area, like, they're not going to reach out to there's 1 billion lawn care companies. There's 1 billion of them, guys. And there's people that are going to do just as good a job as you for probably less money. So how do you get this work? You need to be plugged in. That I put that so high on the list because I feel like if you're plugged in and you're connected to your community, it really offers you a major advantage over somebody who's just like a hermit. Number 3, suppose you're not plugged into your community. If we go into a place of business and their landscaping needs attention, I am asking to speak to a manager. And you got to be careful how you do this, because it can kind of come off cringe if you're not careful. But the verbiage that I typically like to use is, I will ask the front desk person, hey, is there a manager here on duty that I could speak to? And they'll usually ask, what it's about, and I'll say, I just would like to talk to them about the facility maintenance here. And that's really all you got to say. Typically, the front office person there, they're kind of like a gatekeeper. Their job is to keep the manager from being bothered by people like you, okay? So you've got to get through this person. Now, it's 50-50. A lot of times they're going to say they're not available right now, but I can have them call you back. But occasionally they will come out and talk to you. And what I do is I say, hey, I'm Jonathan. I'm the owner of Florida Turf Pros. We have a landscaping company. We're looking to add more commercial properties to our list this year. Would you be okay with me giving you a quote for us taking care of the maintenance here? They're usually going to go into, well, we have somebody right now and it renews in such and such date. Your goal at that point is to get the renewal date, okay? Like if they already have it kind of set up, goal is to figure out when that renews so you can get in there about a month before it renews and then have a conversation again with the decision maker. But a lot of times, man, these commercial properties, they're just not in very good condition, and if they are being maintained, the lawn care company is just not doing a very, very good job, and it is a great opportunity for you to get your foot in the door. Have an honest conversation with the store manager, say, hey, when does the contract renew? I would like the opportunity to bid it, okay? If you follow up a month before that contract is set to renew and talk to that decision maker again, there is a very high likelihood that you're going to get a shot at that. And guys, I admit it's not easy to do. Like it really is. It takes a little bit of getting used to walk into these places of business. And the way that I do it is I don't just walk into random businesses. I usually, this works better for me whenever I am doing this at a place that I'm already doing business with. That could be a veterinarian clinic, it could be an eye doctor, or just like whatever. But it just works better when you're already doing business with this place. The next thing that I like to do, and this is kind of tricky, but there really is an advantage to dealing with property management companies. Property management companies, most of the time, the reason I put them on the bottom of the list is they're a nightmare to deal with. Like their payment terms typically aren't favorable for what I'm wanting to do. They're bidding it out every single year. Their goal is to get their clients the lowest rates for a job well done, and I understand all that, but it just makes it extremely difficult for lawn care guys to deal with basically they're a third party. Like what I typically like to do is I like to cut out the middleman. I want to deal directly with the business, okay? I don't want to be dealing with a property management company. But if you can get in good with a property management company, a good one, a one who values your service and you make life easy for them, and you form a relationship with somebody in there, and they can count on you, there is a very high likelihood they're going to send you a lot more work. I have seen this happen to a couple of my buddies that, hey, I'm in good with this property management company. We're killing it for them. They keep funneling us more and more work. Everybody's happy, right? But again, you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, because I've had bad experiences with property management companies. They're just kind of difficult to deal with. But I've also had a very, very good experience with a property management company. So we live and learn. I used to think residential just because the margins are better. And while that is true, man, I'm really looking at kind of conserving our cash during the winter. And at least in my area, we don't have snow. There's not a whole pile of leaves to really do. People really don't expect you to be at their property, man. And we can say we're going to do seasonal services or season-specific services. But dude, I'm in the thick of it, guys. And there's not a whole lot of lawn care companies able to make that happen in our area. So what's the solution? For me, the path of least resistance is commercial work, stacking it up all throughout the year and then not going backwards by having the year-round account. So hey, I hope that helps somebody secure some more commercial work this year.